Hey everyone, and a big welcome to Sethaldor's World of Warcraft Guides. Today we're going to be covering PvP Restoration Druid Specking in the new World of Warcraft Cataclysm. I do have an 85 Druid to provide you with a full set of points, and it has been quite a long time, so I'm just going to say hello again. Alright, so for Grab and Resto, we'll get Swift Mend, which is the same as it was before. It's an instant heal that will consume Rejuve or Regrowth. If you glyph properly, that will not be concerned, though. Meditation for 50% more mana regen in combat. Gift of Nature for increased healing. And Symbiosis is your mastery, which you gain at 80, which will provide you with 16% increased effectiveness of your heals on a target with a heal over time already placed on it. That scales with 1.25% for each additional mastery. Now, in this PvP spec, I should warn you all that I'm going to prioritize a balance of being able to heal well and also have a few procs and damage bonuses, because in PvP you want to be able to do both. If you sit there and you only heal, then you are extremely vulnerable if you are caught by yourself. If you're in a PvP team, it is highly suggested that you move some of these points around, which, if asked for, I could create a second video for. So if you're interested in a team play strictly focused on healing, I should say, please leave that in the comment section below, and I will be happy to create a second video. However, this is going to be for BG pugging, basically, so you don't know if you'll be caught on your own or with a few people. So in the first row, we've got Blessing of the Grove, Natural Shapeshifter, Naturalist, and Heart of the Wild. Gonna grab Blessing of the Grove because that'll help our Rejuve heal more and increase the damage of our Moonfire, and grab Heart of the Wild because that will increase your Intellect, which means larger mana pool, more crit rating, which will help with healing and DPS, as well as giving you more spell power, which again helps with DPS and healing. We're going to grab in the second row Perseverance, which will reduce all spell damage taken by 6%, which will help you survive mages, warlocks, other moonkins, everything like that, 6% better. Also go ahead and grab Improved Rejuve 2 of 3. Keep in mind we do always backfill, if you're familiar with these videos. Improved Rejuve, self-explanatory, helps improve your rejuvenation and swift mend abilities. Next row, Living Seed, Revitalize, Nature Swiftness, and Fury of Stormrage. In this row, definitely grab Nature Swiftness. Being able to make your Regrowth, Healing Touch, or Nourish an instant cast is very vital, especially in PvP, because if you know you've got someone with the ability to interrupt on you, that could be really helpful. When you get low, you can make your massive nuke heal, i.e. Healing Touch, an instant, and basically it can't be interrupted in that situation. Also, we can look at Fury of Stormrage, which reduces the mana cost of your Wrath spell by 100%, and when you deal damage with your Wrath spell, you have a 12% chance to cause your next Starfire to be an instant cast. Now, this is one where it helps your damage output and does nothing to your healing output, so you'd only pick this up if you're going to be doing primarily pugging in BGs, which is what I do. If you have a specific arena or BG team, this would be one where you could debate whether you pick it up or not. But I pug most of mine, so go ahead and grab Fury of Stormrage. And that leaves 2 points to get to the next row. We can look at Revitalize, which will help with mana, usually not a concern in a BG. And Living Seed, which I would recommend 2 of 3 in, because when you get a crit with any of your abilities that can crit, with the exception of HOTS, then you can plant a seed on yourself, effectively reducing the damage of the next income attack, essentially. Next we have Nature's Bounty, Empowered Touch, and Malfurion's Gift. Nature's Bounty is nice because when you get critical effects of your Healing Touch and Nourish, you reduce the cooldown of your Swift Mend by half a second, which is very awesome because your Swift Mend is going to be another instant heal, which can help you avoid being interrupted, as well as your Regrowth will crit 60% more often, which is fantastic. Heal crits are epic. Also in this row we have Malfurion's Gift, which would give you Omen of Clarity, which basically is a clear casting state. Again, mana is not a priority in BGs unless you're expecting for very long arena or pre-made BG matches, then you can debate that. But usually in Pugs, I either get out of combat or die fairly quickly, at which point it's fairly easy to get mana back, i.e. through sitting and drinking for about 5 seconds now, or I'm dead, so I'd respawn with full. Anyway, next we have Empowered Touch, which will help our healing and nourish, and also it would refresh our life bloom. Debatable whether you want to grab that, because sometimes you need that life bloom to bloom, and you don't really have time to do healing touch. Maybe you'll have time to do nourish. So I'm going to take these 2 points in backfill, improved rejuve, and living seed. Next row we have Effervescence, Wild Growth, Nature's Cure, and Nature's Ward. Definitely grab Nature's Cure. Having the ability to also remove magic effects from yourself and other friendly targets is helpful, because with that, you'll basically be able to remove everything a Warlock can put on someone, because you can get rid of curses as a Druid too. Also to help from getting away from mages because of the Frostbolt slow, things like that. So it's just helpful to have all around. Also, you're going to want Nature's Ward, because whenever you are attacked while at or below 50% health, you automatically cast Rejuvenation on yourself with no mana cost. So it's, stop hitting me, you get dropped below 50%. Oh, hey, thanks, you just had me hot myself for free. You know, that's awesome. I don't even think it activates a GCD, I think it just pops up on you. If that's wrong, please leave it in the comment section below. Next, we have Effervescence or Wild Growth. Wild Growth is kind of nice. It helps heal groups of people. If you are in a pre-made BG team or an arena team, that would be pretty good. It has a crap ton of mana cost. I know mana shouldn't be a priority, but it's a lot of mana. Also, Effervescence is nice because when you swift mend, it'll leave a patch on the ground where if you stand in it, you'll get healed. But there's a lot of moving in PvP, so it's debatable whether this is really worth 3 whole points or not. So, right now you have a little bit of fudge room. Honestly, I have 2 points to spend. I'm going to go to Natural Shapeshifter up in the top of the tree, which reduces the mana cost of shapeshifting and increases the duration of your Tree of Life, which is your final talent, I should say, in the tree, which we will be picking up by 10 seconds. Next we have Gift of the Earth Mother, which you need to pick up because it'll increase the healing of Life Bloom when it blooms, and also your Rejuve will instantly heal when it's cast on the target for 15% of what it would heal over time as well. Also, Swift Rejuve is nice because it'll reduce the GCD popped from Rejuve, which is good because the faster that GCD goes away, the sooner you can put another hot on your target, whether it be the flag carrier or yourself. So shorter GCDs are always better. We have 1 more point so we can get to Tree of Life, put that on Wild Growth as a pre-rec. Again, with Wild Growth, you want to be very selective whether you cast it or not. If it's a pre-made BG team or arena team, absolutely it's going to be very helpful. As for Pugs, it'll help you as far as the person you're healing, and then extra stuff around the sides is nice. Also, you want to grab Tree of Life because Tree of Life adds another form to your bars. It only lasts temporarily now, however, it will increase your armor value as well as the healing done. And it also improves your Entangling Roots and Wrath. Your Entangling Roots will become instant regardless of whether you have the glyph or not. If you do pick up the glyph in this spec, which you should check out my Resto glyph guide, which will be out soon if it's not already out. There is a glyph that will make it instant cast and have a cooldown. This will make it instant cast, and I don't think it'll add a cooldown to it. So if you have that glyph, then it's not as impressive, but if you don't, then it's helpful. Also, it will reduce the cast time of your Wrath by 50%, which is awesome, because if you recall, we picked up Fury of Stormrage, which makes Wrath free, so you're casting a free Wrath at half or at twice the speed you would normally be casting it, as well as the more you can pump out, the more you'll have instant cast Starfires. So you'll actually be able to do a fair bit of damage as a Resto Druid, as well as keep your ass alive. Now, we've unlocked Balance and Feral Combat, but I would suggest grabbing Master Shapeshifter, as 1 point for 4% additional healing is awesome. So you definitely want to grab that. Feel free to plug in these points anywhere you want. These last points, again, are customization points, as I usually say. However, I would recommend, if you do desperately want to put them in the resto tree, grab Naturalist, which will reduce the cast time of your two major cast time heals. That would be Healing Touch and Nourish. Or Empowered Touch. I would pass on Effervescence because there's a lot of moving. You can't really afford to stay in one spot for too long in a BG, and Malfurion's Gift is just going to help you with mana issues, which fights shouldn't last longer than, you know, your mana will, unless you're in a pre-made. So we have 9 unspent talent points. We can look at Nature's Grace, which will give us some extra haste when we get to cast Regrowth, not a bad thing. Starlight Wrath will further reduce the cast time of our Wrath spell, as well as Starfire, but you shouldn't be casting Starfire unless you get the instant cast proc from Fury of Stormrage, and also Nature's Majesty, which will increase your crit overall by 4%. Definitely grab Nature's Majesty, and I would say grab Starlight Wrath for the reduced cast time on Wrath, because that, coupled with the Tree of Life form, will cut down the cast time of Wrath all that more, and the more Wraths you get out, the more you're likely, I should say, you'll get the instant Starfire proc to go off. So we have 4 unspent talent points. We can look at Genesis, which will increase periodic healing spells, as well as Swift Mend, and increase the duration of Moonfire and Insect Swarm, both spells you have, both very effective dots. Moonglow will reduce the mana cost of spells, mana not an issue, and Balance of Power will increase your hit rating, which is important in PvP to an extent. So, it's debatable. Also, it'll increase the damage you do by percentages. I would grab Genesis for 6% increased healing done by your HOTS. That's awesome. 6% more healing could save a life. And that leaves you with 1 point. And because hit rating is not as valuable in PvP as it is in PvE, however still valuable, Balance of Power is still a good grab even with 1 of 2, because 50% of your spirit will be translated into hit rating. And the primary stat for healers now is spirit. So if you have 4,000 spirit, you're going to end up with 2,000 hit rating, which will more often than not be enough to hit whatever you're targeting in PvE, assuming they don't have Cloak of Shadows or something like that on it. Also, it increases the spell damage by 1%. Granted, 2 points in there could be very useful, so feel free to play around with where your points are. If you don't like the fact that I'm focusing on damage and healing, then there are obvious places where you can put the points in. Hell, I might even change this and suggest, instead of 1 in Balance of Power, 1 in Naturalist to get the 0.3 seconds off your Healing Touch and Nourish. Again, though, if you like that choice, keep in mind that the chance that you'll be able to stand still long enough to cast those spells, even with 0.3 to 0.5 seconds cut off of it, is very low. You probably won't have enough time. Keep in mind they increased the cast time of Nourish to almost 3 seconds unspec'd, and your Healing Touch is the same cast time. So shaving half a second off that is going to be 2.5 seconds. When do you have 2.5 seconds of time to just sit there when someone's beating the crap out of you, or you have to keep up with a flag carrier? So it's very debatable where you can spend those points safely. I would say, because I like to be able to do damage and heal damage. Oh my, I'm being attacked by something. I would recommend this setup right here, with 32 Resto, 9 Balance, 0 Feral Combat. It's also debatable to put some points in Feral Combat for, say, Feral Swiftness, so you can get away, but this is what I would say to focus on, because you're going to spend most of your time healing, and I would say casting Wrath to get the Starfire proc. So this has been PvP Resto Specking with Sethaldor on Blade's Edge in the Guild Sacrilege on the character Taladorna. Please comment, subscribe, thumbs up. If you want to see one where it's strictly all healing focused for PvP, please put that in the comment section below. I will make a second Resto PvP spec guide video for you. Even if it's just one person that's curious about it, please put it in the comment section below. I will make a video specifically for you, if you are the only person that desires to see it. So, that's that. Also, please go ahead and check out the vlog on my channel to hear about the Insomnia Challenge that I'll be taking on the second week of break, which will go over to the new year. it's going to be quite interesting. So thanks again for listening. This has been Sethaldor on the character Taladorna. Please, please, please thumbs up, subscribe, and I can't wait to put another one out for you guys next time. See ya!